the ones
What if we put Sonic Colors in the WiiDude? What would happen?
Okay. Well, sideways,
Wait,
Wiimote for Sonic Colors.
wanna,
Come on.
Wait. You want
sideways Wiimote? It's stupid, but it works.
Wait, hold on. No. I come in and I just hear inject WiiDude with the Sonic Colors, and I'm like, what the hell?
I said Wii U, Sonic Colors. Not everything's about you. God.
Yeah, Patrick, come on. Everything's about you.
And he left.
Also, bye, ED. No, all I was gonna say was, to ED was, listen, I'll play Brawl with a sideways controller. I'm stupid enough, but I won't play Sonic with a sideways controller. You crazy?
I just want to say I was out today for mostly the entire day. I come back and it's all Sonic Colors.
You unintentionally made the right decision today, guys.
Oh yeah, no.
Good God.
Okay, so I was also out for most of the day, and alone on Twitter, I just see Sonic trending. I just go, this is about Sonic Colors Ultimate, isn't it? And I'm booted with it there. I just go, yep, there it is. What is going on? What is this seizure?
Oh, hi there, Hypersonic.
What happened?
It's not just, like, the Switch version's the worst one of them, but, like, all the versions are, like, not running good at all kind of deal, so...
That led me to Matt McMuscle's tweet quote tweeting a thread that he of someone calling it out, like...
A month ago, yeah.
Yeah, like a month ago. And I read that, and I just go... Sega, when will you learn?
Never, because it's 15 years since 06, and like they still can't get a goddamn quality control. Like,
Sega I don't want to say is that it can't be this hard, but apparently for you it is.
And it's only Sonic. Like, I swear it's just Sonic out of all their franchises. I don't get it. I really don't.
You know, that Banana Mania bandwagon is
dude, it's time for the II takeover at this point.
You wonder what it feels like before you know what it feels like before we really start this Ace Attorney stream?
Yeah.
It's like in the eyes of the world, Sonic is Sega's biggest franchise. In the eyes of Sega, it's like fifth on the list.
I don't understand. It really feels like Sega doesn't care that much about Sonic, despite the fact that Sonic is like, even with everything they have, it's probably still it's their most well-known property. It's probably not the one that makes the most money anymore, but it's probably still the most well-known. And this stuff happens. I'm just saying, if we end up doing a Colors playthrough at any point recently, we're gonna we're doing the Wii version, but I'm using Dolphin and cranking that bad boy up at that point. So yeah.
Sega Sonic Rangers better be good, or else the internet's gonna roast you again.
It's also one of those things where if you got the port and the port works fine for you and you're having fun, awesome, good, great, awesome, outstanding,
impressive.
Impressive. I'm happy for you. I did not want to dunk on your good time.
Though I will say, if you are planning on getting the Switch version, I will cancel that now because Nintendo's actually letting you cancel your pre-order now. So
yeah.
Do that, and then if you really want Colors, wait for a month, because I feel like it's going to go down in price real quick. So, yeah.
And for the record, I fully blame Sega for this. I did not blame the company.
Yeah,
I don't blame the company that was in charge of doing the
Oh, because they had like less than a month in and never done a Switch port before, so like...
Yep.
You know, you know what? I think Sega needs to be taken to court. Who's a better job to do it than Rito Scandahodo?
Just he's a few hundred years too early on that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, we can make a time machine.
No, Jason, we have Maya.
Oh yeah, maybe just use Maya.
Anyway, let's.
Also, yes, Brandon, I do agree. Get Tales of Arise this week.
Alright.
That instead.
Alright.
Everybody get your water.
Alright, it's gonna be a long one.
Actually, you know what? Let me get another bottle of water.
Yeah. The Old Bailey. This place always makes me feel strange.
seem to get chills down my spine and break out in a nervous sweat all the same. Well, I didn't think I'd be back here so soon. Good morning! Good morning, Mr. Natsume.
It was. Wait, hang on. Hey, hang on. Herlock show! Okay, there we go. It was only 2 days ago that I was declared not guilty here.
Yes, we somehow managed to prove that you did stab Miss Green in the back.
But now this! Another warning, another murder, and here I am again. Yes, keep coming to court!
I'm beginning to think he's right. It really does seem like he's been cursed.
Mr. Naruhodo, I'm afraid I have bad news.
Sonic Colors party's out.
Mr. Natsume, good morning.
Yes, warning.
So, here we are again.
Yes, again.
He is on the urge of cracking at this point.
Esquire, what's the bad news?
Oh dear, you heard, did you?
You heard about the Colors remaster, didn't you?
Aww.
I wouldn't even call it a remaster. You hear about the Colors re-release? If you come in shouting at the top of your voice, people can't help hearing what you say.
Oh, I am so sorry.
You've done nothing wrong, Miss Susato. Now what is it?
Dramatic
I feel to
pause.
throw hands with my depression.
Well, it seems that the prosecution of today's trial will be led by Lord Baroque Van Zeeks.
Van Zeeks?
Oh no, oh no.
Oh god, oh bad, oh god, oh bad. The so-called Reaper of the Bailey, the most legendary prosecutor in the land. In the trial 2 days ago, he pursued Soseki-san and I relentlessly, and of course, by the skin of our teeth. We managed to pull through, but still.
This, the fact that this is technically 3 times in a row that Baroque has been holding this.
I'm a little worried that by the end, I feel like I'm going to be in, the opinion of, how I feel about Godot, where it's just this man just loses every case he's in, I swear to God, kind of deal.
At least with Godot, at least with Van Zeeks, at least we know he was actually a prosecutor before this, so he has victories under his belt. It's just us. Godot was just, he came back, and he only fought us. He only fought.
He kept fighting the top seed in the tournament every time, okay?
Look, imagine from Naruhodo's perspective, you're not even a week into London, and this random-ass prosecutor keeps getting on your ass.
I think he's the only prosecutor in England at this point.
Yo, I'm finally at the Smash tournament. I'm finally here at Mewtwo keeps challenging you to fight.
Perhaps Mr. Natsume's acquittal last trial
That's
wasn't
my line, Naruhodo. Now get your ass out of here.
Okay,
Yo, get
Susato,
in
I'm
line.
sorry.
Perhaps Mr. Natsume's acquittal in the last trial wasn't the end of the matter after all.
Yes, I know what you're thinking. The legendary Reaper that says, nothing can save a person in the dock of the land of Lord Von Zeeks is a prosecutor.
Oh no.
That's even if the person is not found guilty. The accused will meet a mysterious end one way or another.
We've experienced it firsthand. On that piece of shit McGundle that we didn't even know how much of a piece of shit he actually was.
And we still don't know at this point. In the timeline, we still don't know.
Oh, I'm
McGundle's been McGildle.
McGild. Yeah, that's his name
Yeah.
now. I keep
No, Sophie, you hush your mouth. It's McGundle.
That's why I say he became McGild and then he died.
We killed him. You're not McGundle. Get in the bus.
Jesus.
Do I have to put up with those ice cold eyes boring into my soul again? Cursed by evil spirits and not by the Reaper! Petrify, perils, potentially!
Well, if it's potentially... At least you appear to have hope, Mr. Natsume.
Lucas didn't
Mr. Nawahodo Esquire.
Yes?
Yeah, Brent. Brent. They really did change Magundo's name.
Yeah.
There are some characters in this translation that name changes that made me go, why? The name that they have is already fine.
I actually did check the wiki. There is actually some good explanation as to why they translate some certain names.
Oh, really?
So.
Oh, will you be willing to share right now?
I have to pull up the wiki first.
Okay, then we'll do it in an off time later
Yeah.
on. Yeah, but yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I'm innocent. You have to believe me. You more than anyone now.
Don't
Look at
worry.
that face.
I'll be your steadfast ally every step of the way in this battle. I promise. And this promise to be a hard battle, I fear.
Well, the trial is scheduled to begin shortly. We should move to the courtroom.
Let's go.
Oh yes, I forgot to say. I'm afraid he won't be able to make it. Mr. Sholmes, I mean.
That's probably for the best.
Oh?
If he were here, I might be tempted to rely on his help. And that could be seen as a weakness if Lord Van Zeeks were to notice he'd prey on him mercilessly. At least, that's my gut feeling.
Mr. Naruhodo.
It's probably right. Yeah. Yes, you're so right. Oh, well said, local student Mr. Nawahodo Esquire. Well said.
I swear on this sword at my side and the spirit of Kazuma that it harbors. I'll show him what a Japanese lawyer can do. I'll set you free, with honor!
Oh yes.
Alrighty.
Back in court with this man again.
Alright.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
Dracula shit.
The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready, my lord. Readiness of the trial, my learned Queen's friend, is not what the defense needs. What you need is the readiness for your inevitable defeat. It's not just my imagination, it's really there. Lord Van Zeeks, such an animosity towards us Japanese for some reason.
Wait, hang on. Pat, do you actually want to address that question in the chat?
He just didn't want to be part of the playthrough, that's all. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
In some time ago now that he first became known as the Reaper of the Bailey, I believe. These past few years, he hasn't appeared in court at all.
Yet now, he's back in the Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, it shows Van Zeeks.
Excuse me. It appears that why would I read a line of my Nipponese friend?
Yeah, now he's back in the courtroom, though for some reason, only when I'm defending. This Reaper, with his curious disdain for the Japanese, is a prosecutor shrouded in mystery. Still, this isn't the time to be pondering that. Still have to concentrate on Seki-san's trial.
Furthermore, I now call upon the six ladies and gentlemen of the jury. You have been chosen at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to fulfill your duty?
Well, we'll see how random this time. Oh, absolutely! I feel this Lundgren wasn't innocent before!
I must say, I feel especially ruthless on days when my hat refused to sit right.
Oh, well, I rather like how you're wearing your hat. I think the ruthless look is very fetching, actually.
Oh!
I need to be somewhere at 10 o'clock. I have a very important meeting. Let's make this quick.
I couldn't agree. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I need to take home 5 bombs. I need to take home 5 bombs tonight, or the missions will go through the roof.
Oh, may Lord show us all the light here and lead his flock in a righteous verdict.
Considering what I now know about this game, the jurors in this case now make more sense.
The British jury system is so very different from our own, isn't it? I have to remind people of that because they forget. It's quite extraordinary to think.
It's stuff we know from last time. That's the idea. Prosecution would like to draw the attention to the fact that the accused was on trial here but 2 days ago. Accordingly, where possible, the same jurors have been asked to return for duty today.
Jury duty sucks.
and that's the in-game excuse of why we got them.
Not that they have to reuse models or anything, you know?
The production excuses, this game had less money.
Yeah.
So they had to pick and choose when to use it.
Yeah.
Very well. Let us commence the trial. Lord Von Zieks, your opening statement, please.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is not the intent of the prosecution to doubt over your past decision. However,
But I will anyway.
I'm going to do it anyway. The innocent verdict afforded this eccentric Nipponese before has had dire consequences. Did the accused repent for his wrongdoing in that affair? Far from it. Instead, he used his freedom to penetrate a most blood-curdling crime. Namely, that of the attempted murder of his neighboring lodger, an innocent Englishman. To explain the circumstances of the crime, the prosecution calls its first witness to the stand. The detective responsible for investigating the scene, the accused himself. Witness, your names and occupation, please.
What are you buying? There we go. Yes, sir.
I love that's your character line to get it.
What are you buying?
What are you buying? What are you eating? What are you eating?
What are you eating?
Can I have some?
Can I have some? Is that
French
fish
fry
and chips?
tax.
Is that fish and chips? I love fish and chips. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard's Homicide Division. Suzuki Natsume from the Empire of Japan. The government ordered me to come here as a student to study your language and culture. Mr. Natsume. Yes, my lord, sir. Again? Really? Again? I'm quite sure that you swore oath never to set foot in my courtroom again. I remember it as if it were yesterday.
The day before, in fact, my lord, but close enough.
Believe me, this is the last place I want to be. Then why are you here?
Inspector, let's hear from you first. Explain the case to the court.
What you are, sir? Yo, what are you selling?
This
The
case
incident occurred at the Garadeb household where the defendant had lodged. In the ground floor room of the victim, Mr. William Shakespeare. Are we really calling him that? Mr. William Shakespeare. The defendant has already admitted to visiting the victim on the night in question. Mr. Shakespeare collapsed in his room as a result of the poisoning what was it? That word.
By
Strychnine.
Strychnine, okay.
By strychnine. He was found the following morning where the landlord suspected something was wrong, broke down the door. This means, I presume, that the door to the victim's room was locked at the time of the incident.
Correct, my lord. It was locked from the inside, making entry to or exit from the room impossible.
Although the victim, Mr. Shakespeare, lives to tell tale, he very nearly didn't. The man was halfway to heaven where we found him.
Ah.
I was the first officer on the scene, my lord. And I have a photographic print here that I took at the time to show how it looked. Yes, a chilling scene indeed. The man looks very much deceased.
I am suspicious of that puddle over there that wasn't there before.
That's right. Everyone present believed that's exactly what he was. Very well. I shall accept this photographic print as evidence for the court. The crime scene photograph was at it. Hey, I wasn't reading that! Now then, Mr. Natsume. Yes! As a defendant, do you have anything to say at this juncture?
Grr.
They're haunted by evil spirits. Good gracious, what's haunted? My lodgings! There's been a whole series of strange happenings at lodging! The tenant before me died in the mysterious circumstances. A woman was stabbed by no one on the street outside. My neighbor was poisoned. And me! What about me? I've nearly been killed countless times. Killed, Mr. Natsume? How? Even on that fateful night it happened, when I returned from Mr. Shakespeare's room. I lit my gas stove and climbed into bed, but before long, the stove went out, and somebody tried to kill me! You must always extinguish all fires before retiring for the night, Mr. Natsume.
Only you can prevent London fires.
But it's so cold! My runny nose would freeze!
Do they even have bears in London?
The point is, I didn't poison my neighbor.
No, but we have lions, according to Mr. Herlock.
Yo, Smokey the Lion, let's go.
Why am I being accused of this? Why is my existence so cursed? Thank you, witness. I believe I have a reasonably clear picture of events.
If I could erase one more point, my lord. One more conclusive point.
Conclusive?
Fortunately, the victim, Mr. Shakespeare, has resigned consciousness after his ordeal, and has named the true culprit. The poison consumed by the victim was administered by a cup of tea that he drank in the night at question. Tea, my lord, that was brought to the victim's room by the accused.
The accused? Good grief!
Robber.
Order!
Yes, that's the crux of this whole case. If Saseki-san was innocent, then why? Why was the victim accused of him?
Well, Mr. Natsume, what have you to say to this accusation? That evening, yes, I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shakespeare's room as a gift. The public water pump outside always freezes at night, so I bought bottled water especially to make it. And this is the result! Never will I touch tea again! Never!
The public pump was frozen, you say?
That's not information we heard before.
That will do, thank you. Now, according to our laws, the defense must have the opportunity to cross-examine witnesses at least once. Therefore, I call upon these witnesses now for a formal testimony. I presume the prosecution has no objection?
None whatsoever, my lord.
Good. Then you will give your account of events on the night in question to the court now. Yes, my lord!
Yeah!
Yeah! Our throats are gonna be sore after tonight.
It was around that. Oh, wait, hang on. I think I got mixed up there. There we go. It was around 9 o'clock that evening when I visited my neighbor, and I took some tea with me as a gift. We had a heated literary debate over a nice hot drink. Oh, that's what you call it? After which I went back to my room at around 11. My tea was completely harmless. He couldn't have locked the door behind me otherwise, could he? So that's actually a pretty fair argument. That word takes some time to have an effect on the body. People don't keel over immediately after taking it. The victim would have been perfectly able to lock the door after his guest left. The argument still stands.
Except not, because the door is busted.
Well, they busted the door to get in, though.
I see.
Not true.
It all seems relatively straightforward.
Excuse me, but the testimony does raise one rational, crucial point, I think. Mr. Satsume claims his tea has been harmless. Presumably, though. The teacups have been examined for traces of poison, haven't they?
Why did I think of that?
Well, as it happens, no. We haven't been able to. Did I hear you correctly, Inspector? Scotland Yard has failed to examine the suspected substance.
How could you have overlooked something that important? Isn't that the first thing you should have done? My learned Nipponese friend has falsely incensed. The inspector said Scotland Yard was unable to examine the tea, not that it was overlooked. Unable? Why?
Well, if you let me speak, it's simple enough. There was none left, not a drop. Someone must have been very thirsty indeed.
With current scientific techniques, it's not impossible to test for poison under such circumstances.
We only need a drop, but that one drop does actually have to exist, funnily enough.
The lack of examination notwithstanding, it appears nothing other than the tea passed the victim's lips on the night in question.
I see. Thank you. The matter is clear.
Cast your eyes over the jury, my learned friend. What? You can see their faces unsure, the recognition of the accused's guilt. Your client's fate is all but sealed.
Oh no, man, that one guy at the end looks kind of happy to be there.
Then the mere moments from now, you will lose, and your compatriot will be damned for all eternity. That's right. I can feel all 6 of the jury members looks daggers at me.
Boing!
But I can't let them beat me down. I won't.
Counsel for the defense, proceed with your cross-examination.
Yes, my lord! Alrighty.
And I only have to voice one character.
Well, considering you had to voice so many last time, you know. Okay, so only.
Did you actually get a chance to examine everything before you?
I don't think so.
That's a good idea.
This must be the cup that Mr. Shakespeare was drinking from then. It's stained on the inside.
Tea does that, I'm afraid. Even green tea.
Oh, really? I've never noticed it before.
You never noticed?
Well, I never leave in the cup so long for it to leave a mark. I like to gulp it all down. Drink tea while it's hot. That's the Japanese way, isn't it?
Oh dear. So many people seem to have the wrong idea about our culture. And most of them are Japanese.
You uncultured swine!
This is the teacup from which Mr. Natsume was drinking.
Yes, unlike the other one, the inside of this cup is completely clean.
I suppose he must have drunk the contents before the tea had the chance to leave a mark.
Now let's gulp it down too. Okay.
Really?
Well, sip it little by little, it gets cold.
Clearly, I shall have to instruct you the proper way to take tea.
Yeah? No. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Books!
Okay, it's book layout from last side. Whoever opened this envelope didn't bother with the letter opener or scissors, did they?
Yes, whoever opened it was clearly someone with some unrefined temperament. And judging from the angle of the rip here, the person in question must have been right-handed.
Mr. Sato, I think perhaps someone's been reading too much of the adventures of Sherlock Holmes!
You can never read too much of it, Mr. Naruhodo! Never!
On sale now, it's stores everywhere.
Soap!
Soap.
Oh,
What is it, Mr. Naruhodo?
this bar of soap. When we first found it, I could have sworn there was some sort of round disc in this depression just here, a reddish one.
Yes, you're right. I remember it too. But now, the depression is completely empty.
Where could the disc have gone?
Oh yeah.
Alright,
I think if you actually examined it back during the investigation, something was in there.
okay.
Yeah, keep that one in mind.
And,
That's indeed a dead person.
yeah. Alright. Okay, it's around 9 o'clock in the evening. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he delivered on a nice kind of thing, which has been effective room as 11. He was completely harmless.
Hold it!
Yes, there was not a drop of tea left in the victim's room anywhere, was there?
That's correct. Anyone would think the fellow had never had a pot of tea before. He must have licked it dry. Which is a pity, because one drop is all we would have needed to analyze it for poison.
And you say you returned home to your room at 11 o'clock, Mr. Natsume.
Yes, definitely! By heaven and earth, I swear it! The landlord was able to verify that, as it happens. He confirmed that the defendant went back to his room at 11 that night. And how is the landlord able to attest to this? He, said it was the lamps, I believe. The lamps, Inspector?
When tenants return to their rooms and start using gas, the lamps in the other parts of the house flicker.
Yes, Mr. Gyarados seemed to pay a lot of attention to the comings and goings of his tenants.
There's only one key to Mr. Chatspeare's room! I know that for certain! So he must have locked the door himself from inside his room! The victim has confirmed that to be the case, yes. So I'm right! My tea was harmless! Completely harmless! If you take poison, you die! Anyone knows that! It's not that simple, I'm afraid. What do you mean?
I want to see what did. Okay, so I just need one statement where he says anything about like the tea being left over, because I think if that ring mark might mean that they would be able to check that kind of deal.
Hold it!
How long does it take for the symptoms to appear then?
According to the coroner I was speaking to at the yard, about 30 minutes after the poison is taken. Then the victim suffers violent convulsions, cramping, and stiffness, and eventually dies from asphyxiation.
So there's a 30-minute interval between when the poison is ingested and the onset of symptoms. There seems to be a lot of different types of poison in the world, that's for sure.
Oh dear, death by poisoning again? It's always so awful.
You say, they say all this, it's like, man, he's dead. No, he's alive!
30 minutes is a long time. Certainly long enough for the victim to have locked the door behind the accused after he left. Can't deny that. It further degrades Soseki-san's alibi.
I had the medical report from the doctor who examined the victim here, my lord. It spells it out, really. The accused is the only person who could have done it. Very well. The court will add this report to the court record.
Oh yes, I see it here. Delayed onset of symptoms.
Great.
Hold it! Is it me or does Cesaro say, oh dear, a lot of this translation?
Well,
Oh dear me.
I feel like she said that a lot in the original one, too. Like, I think I remember her doing that a lot.
And she's trying to be very, formal about
Yeah.
it. Like, oh dear, oh my.
Yeah. The argument still stands, you say?
This is what Mr. Natsume has been saying, isn't it? The pair of them drank tea together that night, so if there was poison in it, the victim wouldn't have been able to lock the door after the accused left later on. Exactly! Me and my tea are innocent! Sweet and innocent, I tell you! I'm afraid, sir, that doesn't follow. You see, poison is a slow-acting poison. In other words, it takes time for symptoms to appear.
Poison is poison!
So you could have left the room up to 30 minutes after the victim drank the tea. And as long as you did that, Mr. Shakespeare could have locked the door after you'd gone. But no! We drank the tea straight away! The battle over whether Romeo and Juliet was stronger! That came after the tea!
Do you have any evidence to support that statement?
In my great homeland, the Empire of Japan, we have a saying, drink tea while it's hot!
Sure, a proverb that will satisfy the prosecution.
No, you don't!
You don't do that! I'm afraid there's no conclusive proof to support the defendant's assertion. Thank you! Susanna!
What?
Drink the wrong way, that's still the wrong way to drink tea! On the contrary, there are sufficient grounds for his guilt in this matter. No!
That's the extent of their testimony, isn't it?
If I could
Oh
voice
wait,
the question-
Patrick, open up the court record and look at the thing.
I'm trying to talk.
Sorry, it just popped into my brain because he just got it. He hasn't looked at it yet.
Attention, small. Testing. Oh, okay, alright.
If I could voice a personal opinion, Mr. Naruhodo.
Of course, go ahead.
Mr. Natsume is arguing for his innocence so adamantly and so persistently. Yet Inspector Gregson just brushes what he says aside. It's really quite infuriating.
I agree. So we need to find an inconsistency on what the inspector is saying, I think.
I'm afraid so. As things stand, the jurors are sure to find Mr. Natsume guilty.
As I see it, we need to focus on the poison in the tea. Let's listen carefully to that testimony again.
Yes.
So William was also a victim to the coma straps.
Alright.
The victim would have...
Oh, wait a minute.
I know the answer, yeah.
What time did...
Yeah, I know it's the time one, so... But they said to go after something the inspector said, so... But, okay, which was around... Wait, hold on. It's around 9 o'clock at the evening when I missed the neighbor. Here's the tea after my room around 11, because the poisoning took place at 1 o'clock. Yeah.
And...
So I think it would have to be on that one, because this is the only one that mentions the time later, so...
What's the inspector's statement again?
The inspector's... that's a weird thing, because they want me to do the inspector. So take some time to affect the body. People don't keel over after taking it. The victim could have been perfectly able to lock the door after his guests left. The argument still stands. Is it on this one, then?
What proves that he might have not taken the tea immediately?
Oh, okay, yeah. Would be that right there, so... Objection! Damn it!
I feel that most of my, like, I want the right idea, but I don't know which testimony to use it on.
Yeah, the victim would have been able to... The victim would have been able to lock the door.
No, I do feel like it's actually his first statement. I do think it's his first statement. I think it's that one.
Hold on.
Oh wait, Patrick, before you do anything else.
Yeah?
Being coward is safe.
Oh, I already did. I already did.
Oh, okay, so, yes, cowardice.
Stop raising your hand, sir. Give me your L's.
Arahodo, stop saying dumbass things. Objection! Damn it!
Then, okay, I think they were supposed to lead you to actually press Gregson to get that evidence. So it might be one of Saseki's statements.
Was it? Then would it be? Okay, then was my initial thing right on this one?
Let's figure it.
Let's try it. Let's try it.
Objection. I was fucking right the first time. I
okay, go get your L's back. Go get your L's back. Yeah, that.
You got damn Susanoo in Korea. We gotta.
I didn't know you got the evidence yet, Naruhodo.
It's right in our court record, woman. It was right there. I just imagine the two of them. They got it right, but they're just arguing with each other, kind of deal. Mr. Natsume, you said it was 11 p.m. when you left to return to your room, correct?
Yes!
And Inspector Gregson, can we rely on the information in the medical report unconditionally?
Of course we can. There's no problem with that report's sunshine.
Also, guys, no, his name is not Ryan Wright. I'm gonna shoot that joke down now. Because, no. Actually, I think there's a very big problem. Because there's a chronological inconsistency between it and the defendant's testimony.
What? What do you want about?
According to this report, the victim must have consumed the poison at around 1:30 in the morning. And yet, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, left the victim's room at 11. Yes, that's right. There's more than 2 hours of missing time there. In other words, if there was poison in the tea that Mr. Natsume brought to the victim's room, how could the victim have fallen ill to it 2.5 hours full after the defendant left? Both of Jason's characters have the same animation. Holy shit!
Think boys, we're instinct boys.
We share one single brain cell.
That one brain. Yeah, that goes that one brain cell again. The defense's argument is entirely reasonable. How do you respond, Lord Vanzeeks? With a middle finger.
I'll indulge in my own drink right here.
Oh boy,
Watch.
1785.
I'll throw hands in a second.
Pray for forgiveness, the discourtesy, if my mind has wandered. I was considering what cuisine would be best to complement the contents of my hallowed chalice this luncheon. How could it have happened, you ask? I do hate to shatter illusions, but my Nipponese friend appears to be chasing a phantom idea.
Oh wait, speaking real quick. When I was playing this game in the living room, my grandmother was watching me, and her statement to whatever he does that, it goes, Jason, I have a question. Yes? How does he keep shattering the glass and not stain his gloves?
I was about to make a stained gloves joke myself on that. I guess they're like secretly dish gloves? Like the sign does really? Like fancy gloves, maybe? A phantom? Is it hard to imagine that the victim drank his tea after the accused had left? For example, at the time stated in the medical report. Yes, at around 1:30.
Objection!
Mr. Natsume brought the tea with him to drink together with his neighbor. And in Japan, there's a very well-known saying, drink tea while it's hot!
Objection!
No!
That is wrong!
And I say you're full of shit. Your legal assistant says otherwise. And in my country, there's an even more apt saying, get fucked. There is nothing more refreshing than cold tea. The point is, if there was such a large gap, there would be no other ways to explain the victim came to be poisoned. Other possibilities.
What sort of possibilities, counsel? Crap, I didn't think he asked.
Well, for example, the man could have had another visitor. Another visitor. That is a very bold assertion, my dear learned friend, from someone who has nothing to sustain it. Or the victim could have taken the poison of his own volition.
Suicide. You suggest this may have been a suicide, counsel?
Objection!
Susato is trying not to cringe.
Mr. Shakespeare is a category denied suicide. The idea can and must be discontinued.
Objection!
Susanna over here just like...
But I mean, he could be lying.
No, Hodo, just stop. Just stop. Susanna, I'm trying here, and you're trying very badly. Just stop.
Stop saying dumbass things, Zoro Hodo. You're not making any sense.
Oh, you done?
Look, my thing is like... Is something wrong, Lord Fantasy?
That man over there is what's wrong. Everything about him. I was listening to the sound of a carriage pulling up outside the courtroom. Pray, forgive the discourtesy. Carriage? What carriage?
The one I'm about to send you on.
It would seem that key player in this case has just arrived.
Oh, him.
Yeah.
Hold it!
Oh boy.
Where is he? Out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. Slap, slap, slap. Clap, clap, clap. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Who, sir, are you? William Shakespeare, my lord. Alas, 'twas I, undone by these bitter events. I am the victim.
What's going on here?
What's he doing here? And now there's three of me up there.
The prosecution seeks to call this gentleman to the stand. With his testimony, my learned friend's futile resistance will be utterly crushed.
I think one of my favorite animations of this game is coming up now.
Oh no.
Calling him as a witness.
Very well, Consul. I grant your request with interest. I'm curious to discover what the court shall hear from the victim himself. Happy I am, Shakespeare, to regale thee with my tale of woe. But I still have my own tale to tell, my own tale of worse woe. I can regale the court with the tale of my perfect innocence, in innocence in perfect English. That will do, Mr. Natsume.
Let the court now hear from the victim.
Oh, right, him. Alright, so that's Mr. Shakespeare. Who's this man beside him?
Popeye? Yes, I'm sure we caught a glimpse into that man before.
Oh god, I need to remember what Popeye sounds like, because I can maybe do a Popeye voice for him.
Hey, you scurvy dog.
Hey, you scurvy dog. Okay, I think I can do a voice like that. Yeah, I can do this. I can do it. Okay. State your names and occupations to the court, please, witness.
A writer of words so sweet, they do sit the breeze. An inventor of ideas so profound, they compose the earth. The unrivaled poet, the unmasked scribe, William Shakespeare. Were the great bard to be recalled to life anew, lo, what a magnificent man! Good fellows, I am he who ponders such a miracle, William Shakespeare.
Oh, the name's Madaman. Aaron Unbeat Madaman. I work for Atlas Gas Commentary, East End Branch Office.
Ah, I remember now. It was yesterday on Briar Road. And the day before, but that's optional.
She's right, it's him.
Watch him do the meme. Wait for it. There he goes.
Crimson Chin, is that you?
Yes, we spotted him outside Mr. Garabut's house that morning. And he's the gas company's employee? What does he have to do with this case?
So, Mr. William Shakespeare, you are the victim in this miserable affair, correct? Here comes Yellow Chin. Oh heaven, oh hell, do you command me to remember that sweet poison that just come across me and cross mine innocent lips? Mouth.
I suspended him for the trial, with the doctor's permission, naturally. Giving the testimony of the agreed will remove any doubt from the juror's mind, I'm sure.
Behold, you have only to rearrange the letters of my name to that means a seraph, an angel indeed. Thus be I noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily honest of heart, as all heavenly angels be.
Because there isn't any less contrived meaning in your name. No, not at all.
The jurors seem to be very moved by this man, I'm afraid. Look at these shit.
They're actually taking the seraph anagram idea seriously?
Thank you, witness, for your illuminating introduction.
But, my lord, what's the man next to Mr. Shakespeare doing here? The gas man, I mean. Huh? What? Me? Well, now. Allow me to enlighten the learned friend. You recall, I presume, your earlier impotence? When you suggested that the victim had another visitor in his room on the night in question? And moreover, the victim had a compulsive liar. What? No, I didn't quite say that. This young chin stroker here is convert your wild claims conclusively. Oh, excuse me. Is that not so, Mr. Meterman? Oh my god, I just got the fucking god damn it.
I got it immediately when I saw his name. I just go, leading into
Sometimes you need to really say them out loud in order to get it. Hang on, no, I'm just here.
I hereby call for your formal testimonies. You will tell the court as lucidly as possible what happened on the night in question. One may smile and be a villain. Yes, it does pain me, but let the truth be spoken. The truth of a wintry night of my discontent.
What are you buying?
What are you buying?
Fucking
Yo, what are you
smirk.
buying?
Look at the shitty grin that this guy's got right here.
The snow lay about. My neighbor did come in the evening, bringing a gift of tea. But merry, bitter was his drink, and when he left, I did fall prostrate on my table. 'Twas the tea alone did pass my lips that late hour, naught else.
I was outside this bloke's window in the freezing cold all night, keeping an eye on his room. No one else visited the room in a short time, round back Eastern fella. Wait, what did you say? You were keeping an eye on Mr. Shakespeare's room all night? That's right, of course, the bloke's window was all but blocked up, isn't it? But there's a little gap in the bricks where you can see into the room. So I spent all night trying to keep my teeth from chattering as I peeled through that.
Oh, Persia, I agree. I said the same thing when I saw,
Yeah, it had to, that one was definitely mocapped. Yeah, you can tell.
Especially one animation he does later on where I just go, alright, they're just having fun. Alright, come on. The question is, sir, why?
Okay.
Ah! Well now, that's because he's on my list.
What a piece of work is what a piece of work is a man? Wherefore was this thou not stare in the wonderment?
What are you talking about?
This buzzing busybody hath no part in his display. I pray thee, pay him no heed. Make no more ado about his tedious words.
What did you say about me? Calm yourself. This court is concerned with what happened on the night in question. Nothing more.
Indeed, that is so.
And, as the testimony we have just heard clearly reveals, there's no other than the accused present at the time who could carry out this crime. Rap,
Riff raff, shibber shamble, flobble, and other words that mean things. Okay, there we go. Well, I believe this may be the final testimony of the trial. Now, counsel, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination.
Yes, my lord!
My lord.
My lorda!
Me lord.
And as chat was saying, this guy's unofficially named this the Pogger's face of this man right here. Alright, so the snow was lay about, my neighbor did come into the evening dirty, but Mary bitter was his drink, and when he left, they must take nothing else. I was outside the bloke's window, freezing cold, all night, keeping an eye on his room. None of the room showed up. Okay, I think start pressing here, because I'm not seeing any glaring contradictions right now. Let me stop you there. Mr. Natsumi left your room at 11 o'clock, but it wasn't until after 2 that the poison made you collapse. That amounts to more than 3 hours of missing time.
There it is!
A cucaracha, a cucaracha.
Yeah, no puede caminar.
A cucaracha, a cucaracha.
Una paso para dar.
The
That was supposed to be a love song. That's kind of weird thinking about it.
If the defendant really had put the poison into your tea, that 3-hour window of time is something you're going to have to explain.
Gladly, 'tis an easy task.
What?
I did drink of the tea, now while my guest did his tarry, but after he took leave of me.
Can you please stop dancing? I'm trying to concentrate over here.
Faith, 'twas stone cold, but at 1 hour post midnight, very were my lips parched.
Objection. That doesn't sound normal.
Nay, 'tis quite ordinary, sire. After all, Thou wouldst recall our fiery debate. Amidst such argument, there'd be no time for fiery tea.
Romeo and Juliet again. And who was stronger?
I still want to hear that debate.
Yes.
I want that death battle. Get on it. Mr. Shakespeare, in summary, allow me to confirm. Did you not come here with the intention of naming your attacker?
But of course, my liege. 'Twas the stooped lover of worries did attempt to shuffle me off this coil.
We all know what that means.
Hold it!
So, you didn't have any kind of evening meal, dinner, supper?
Ha! Fail luxury, fail gluttony. To eat thrice daily is but a waste of time.
Sorry?
I would that my belly were full, no more oft than the sun doth rise.
Look at him. He's doing the Mario Odyssey.
Giddy up.
He's doing the Mario Odyssey jump rope challenge. Look at him go. He's got a basic rhythm going on.
Well, most heroic eating habits, I must say. Night and day do I fill my hours with learned studies of the great bard and playwright. It is that there does not in my chamber be the costumes of my art.
See, this is where he needs, like, the mouth open for the Pogger's face at that point. That would appear to be the case, as even a rodent has found starved to death in your room.
Now that I think about it, it's not just food that was inconspicuously missing from that room, is it? I don't recall seeing a single play or script anywhere.
For I had devoured them all.
You've eaten them? It's like the fucking SpongeBob episode.
Every word being within my skull. Does thou imagine otherwise?
Right, that wasn't misleading at all. Now, could you turn around, do you think? Which brings us to the conclusion that the only way the poison could have passed through the victim's lip is in the tea.
Pain.
Hold it!
But the windows of the house, they've all been filled in.
An historical artifact from the defunct window tax.
Yeah, you're right there. All bricked up horribly. But as it happens, there's a little part of the brickwork in the bottom corner that's been opened up. I was looking through that gap.
Yes, there were a few bricks loose, weren't there?
And for some strange reason, a couple of bars of soap lined up on the ledge as well. I don't like going around poking my chin in other people's business, especially on freezing cold nights. But them's my orders, so I gotta keep what I'm doing, as long as there's a breath in me body. What's with all the theatrics today? Out of interest, Mr. Leaderman, after the accused had left and returned to his own lodgings, did you see the victim leave the room at all? No, he never left! That was in the room the whole time as far as I'm concerned. And we can therefore discount the possibility of suicide. How can I be sure of that? The police carried out a thorough investigation of the scene and found no receptacle for the poison. And as we know, the victim didn't leave his room and hence didn't dispose of the poison's container himself. It's clear that this is no attempted suicide. Only the culprit could have removed the receptacle.
Yes. Lucidly explained, Counsel. Thank you.
It really was. You can't argue with that logic.
I got distracted on Twitter because somebody remade the waffle Sonic X meme in HD.
I think I saw that tweet. I was just like, I don't know why I did it. I just did.
and then the person who originally made it said, "Well, your cringy TAV still get a share around."
You say a short little round black Eastern fella. Do you sure it was the defendant then?
Objection!
How many other short little round back Nipponies with a mustache can you think of here in London? Well, of course, there's a narrow gap and it was quite dark, so I hadn't noticed the mustache. But he showed up around 9, I'm pretty sure of it myself. Then when the person you saw arrived, did he and Shakespeare drink tea together? Nah, sorry, I couldn't say. Why not? Because I couldn't see into the room at all that well, could I? What I did see was the silhouette of a little round backing fella wearing a pretty dress. Then a pair of them saw a kind of wrestling match. I tell you, I didn't know what to make of it.
I suppose that was Romeo and Juliet's championship battle getting underway.
Mr. Meaderman, allow me to confirm one final time. Apart from the accused, can you state with certainty that no one else visited the victim on the night in question? No question! Gasman's honor! So that's the entire testimony.
What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, I can't see any obvious holes at all, to be honest.
No, oh dear. If nobody else visited Mr. Shakespeare's room that night apart from Mr. Natsume, I imagine the members of the jury will all conclude the same thing.
Right. That's he's guilty. Well, all we can do is press the witnesses for more information and hope to break through.
Yes.
Okay, this is just a press all of them. One. Okay, so that only leaves this one. To be clear, by neighbor, you're referring to the defendant, Mr. Natsume?
Oh, indeed, sir. Perchance thou wouldst, perchance thou would I call him the man from upstairs.
And what time did the mustache Nipponese visit your room?
Our meeting was promised for the hour of 9, and lo, did he come to a tender of gift of fragrant tea. Details which are in accordance with the defendant's own testimony, yes. And we were boiled in such a literary debate as history has not seen before and will never see again.
By which I presume he means...
Their discussion about who was stronger, Romeo or Juliet.
I, Shakespeare, did play the part of young Romeo, whilst my neighbor played the fair Juliet. Each of us dressed as would our characters be to bring weight upon a merry experiment. I imagine Suzuki Maki dressed up as Juliet. I would not imagine so. Frailty that made this woman. Canst thou imagine how this man was? Yes, I had heard of the ancient art of jujitsu.
Oh, dang.
Never did I dream 'twould be a skill practiced by the commonly maiden.
Damn, Soseki got hands.
Juliet beat Romeo up? This is not helping our case. I believe the court has heard enough of your earth-shattering literary debates. Perhaps you could reiterate your statement about the tea and the accused brought to your room.
My liege, I am thy servant. Gladly I would do thy bidding.
Well... Oh! My lord!
Goodness me! Yes, Mr. Foreman!
I've kept my mouth shut and listened to now, but I have gone long enough! Are you all with me? Yes!
Yeah!
Are we to understand that the you
Well,
ladies
I
and
mean, yes.
gentlemen of the jury are in agreement with one another? That you've reached a unanimous decision? Two right we have! Are you all with me? Yes! Wait, no! The defense is in the middle of a cross-examination! To be honest, I was holding out for a bit of hope for you, young man. Especially after you identified those few that followed the accused leaving the prisoner room.
Yes, 3 missing hours, you put it.
But in the end, what difference do they make? None, as far as I can see.
And since there's now apparent, there really is no reason to delay our decision any longer.
Like I was saying before, if I don't take 5 Bomb home with me tonight, the missus will blow her top.
What's that? Sorry, I didn't quite catch what you said.
Very well. Let the court be appraised of your decisions. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your leanings as to the defendant's culpability.
Guilty. Guilty.
Yuzai.
Guilty.
Yuzai.
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 Yuzai. Yuzai.
Your voice is not that deep. Lies. All of you?
Well, it would appear that the jury is indeed unanimous.
Gonna pull one out for you.
Sniff, sniff.
So, this time at least, it seems that justice will be done. All's well that ends well, as they say. This calls for a toast, I fear. To the guilty being punished.
Get up, Mr. Naruhodo, please! The trial isn't over yet.
What do you mean, Mrs. Sato? Did you forget? Yeah.
And I found the information that's not clear. Remember the first game, Naruhodo, you asshole!
Oh, right, our loophole. Yeah.
Man, it sounds like it's been 1 year since you played this. Jeez.
It was just a day ago, Naruhodo. The defense moves to invoke its right to summation examination, my lord, because it's been changed in this version. Why am I not surprised at my learned Nipponese friend's inability to admit defeat? You choose to cling desperately to some archaic rule you barely comprehend instead of accepting the truth.
Certainly no other defense counsel in recent times has exercised the right.
Because they all know once the jury's mind set, it cannot be altered. Even though this has happened twice now in the span of a few days, but details.
Nevertheless, the right remains and must be upheld. The defense counsel's request is granted. This court will proceed with the summation examination as outlined in the Encyclopedia of British Law.
Thank you, my lord.
Are you and your fellows prepared, Mr. Foreman?
Believe me, my lord, we know all about this young lad's tenacity. We're ready for it.
Very well. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hereby call upon to state the grounds upon which you find the defendant guilty of the crime for which he stands accused.
Alrighty, let's go.
The victim may have not been well off, but he's a noble man. Straight up, there's no reason to doubt that man.
Well, I do declare the good gentleman has no reason to lie. In fact, I think he's rather splendid.
Just look at the accused by comparison. It's Japanese, man. Stooped all the while. Has a mustache.
Well, fuck Juror 3, am I right? Goddamn.
Oh.
There's no evidence to suggest the godly actor is a fraudman. For now, at least.
I really don't care, like. I just need to get the trial to end quickly.
Objection! 3 hours of missing time is nothing when you can reach my age, you know? Nothing at all. Wow! These points are really goddamn weak. I knew it. Every single one of them seems completely convinced.
It would seem that all the jurors have come to the conclusion that Mr. Shampere is a fine, upstanding, and honest citizen.
If you ask me, they've all been bewitched by his strange theatrical movements. I mean, look at those hands.
It was the Kukaracha dance, wasn't it?
They've never seen it before. Can you believe it, Susato? They're uncultured swines.
And sadly, nothing Mr. Natsume has said appeared to have registered at all.
Well, here goes. Let's not forget. I've pleaded with the jury on sticky sounds before, and it worked. So you never know.
Before we begin, would you like a tutorial?
Yeah. I got this, Susato. I got this.
Be careful, you might accidentally say yes.
No need. Thank you for the kind offer, Miss Susato, but I've been through this plenty of times already now. I think it's important we don't delay the start any longer than necessary.
Of course, I understand, and I'm quite sure you're right. If you're confused by anything, you know, I'm here.
I got Google.
Yeah.
Okay, blah, 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 blah.
Without further ado, please, let me read my lines!
I'm sorry, my lord, but we need to get a move on.
It's 8 already.
Please.
Oh, you're right, it's 8:15.
People got work in the morning. Okay, yeah, I gotta press all of these because, like, I'm getting nothing out of these right now. Well, there are plenty of people in London who seem to be noble but poor. Couldn't some of them also be liars? I've no doubt about it. Like that shady client of yours, for example. Absolutely not. Mr. Natsume's is no liar. Look, the point is the only thing that passed the victim's lips that night was Japanese man's teeth. When you take the gas man's testimony into account, well, the truth couldn't be any clearer. Well, that's alarmingly logical. But let me be frank here. I'm a gentleman of a gentleman's value. It turns out the old Shakespearean crumb is a rotten liar after all. I'll gladly change my decision about the defendant. And I'm sure my fellow gentlemen on the jury will do the same. Isn't that right?
Well, perhaps, though I don't see it happening.
Eh? What's that? Elderly gent over there, you know, you'll have to speak up.
Look, I really don't care about all this nonsense. I just need the trial to be over.
How many gentlemen do we actually have on the jury, then? Alright, sir, I may hold you to that. Don't forget what you said.
Hold it!
Are you saying that you believe this man to be trustworthy because he's rather splendid?
No, that's not what I said. The point is, the man is the victim here. What reason would he have to lie? And yes, he is rather splendid.
So you say, yet again.
Meanwhile, the man who stands accused behaves suspiciously. It's exhausting to look at him. I'm afraid he's not splendid at all.
Splendid logic there, madam. Thank you so much. My god, there's like nothing to pull from these right now. Good lord. No, not one of those things is a reason to find the man guilty.
It's fishy. Wait, hang on. Wait.
You kind of going into a croc voice there for a
Yeah, wait,
second.
hang on. That's what about the idea. He is fishy. That's the point. Dancing around the back. He's Japanese. He has a mustache and he stokes. You see, you arrive at the conclusion in just 3 steps. 3 steps. Like, oh, in fact. Now, the more I think about it, the more this trial seems like a dance.
It seems to be several steps to self, though. You're on the wrong foot, and your voice changed like within a day. It's so weird, man. No, there's nothing but circumstantial evidence here. There's no actual proof of the defendant's guilt.
But the victim's version is backed up by what the big gentleman next to him says, isn't it? 1. You saw the Japanese man there. 2, you saw no one else. 3, you saw the Japanese man there. Oh, that's another 3 steps. Oh, this really does seem more and more like a waltz.
Right, and the prosecution will waltz our way to victory if I let you speak much more.
Cease.
I like how his voice is deeper than, you know, the man on the right over here, kind of deal.
Hold it!
I accidentally read the crocodile breaches, but no, rope it.
A fraudsman? What do you mean by that, madame?
It really is the most tiresome problem for the company. Most irritating. We can't be absolute certain that a customer is stealing from us, but without hard evidence. We can't even threaten to take action for fear of being sued.
I'm sorry, but you've lost me a bit there. Who are you?
I'm the wife of August Alderman, owner of the Alderman Gas Company.
Oh, really? What a fucking surprise.
Yeah.
Good gracious! Unlimited gas, you say?
DTS2, I thought we learned, man. Like, come on!
Well, this has technically happened after the 4th case, so technically it's just...
Gas is the future energy of this country and around the globe. The proper handling is essential. As I'm sure your employees at the Far East branch office would agree, first to agree.
Absolutely, Madam Quigley. Gotta be used properly. Apple glass is the best in the world, of course. Chill.
I think we may have solved the mystery of the bloat from earlier, Mr. Naruhodo.
Right, he bowed in defense of his employer's wife, and did he? So, would I be right in assuming that the reason Mr. Mean Man was watching Miss Shakespeare was up in his room?
I'm afraid there's no end lengths to the population of the East End and will go in order to steal of gas. So I really had no choice when the company identified somebody as a possible fraudman. To dispatch a worker to watch this perfect day and night. We're very thoroughly in our investigations.
So you mean Mr. Shakespeare is?
I wouldn't come out and say it in public, but you can finish that sentence with a growing little gas thief.
You have noticed the public gallery in here, have you?
The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. Faith, wouldst thou wound me with thy words, why to let them penetrate the skin? But servants hear not insults, only choirs of angels and song.
They may not have innocence yet, but my work won't stop buzzing around until they find it. And when they do, you'll find yourself blasting at the angelic heights of the ultimate gas explosion.
So Mr. Shakespeare has been stealing gas. I wonder,
context.
juror number 4, if you wouldn't mind adding that information to your statement?
My pleasure. Was it a bit about ripping that feet apart that you enjoy?
A little before the abject violence, if that's not too much trouble.
Yes, of course.
This could be it. This could be the shift balance.
Yeah, Patrick. I'm just gonna state it here. Your issue with the jurors
was not
DTS,
fixed.
I think she's the worst of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're better about it. Like, okay. Good.
Yeah. After this case, the jurors
it was like
they are
I didn't
about them.
I didn't have a problem with it. I'm trying to remember. Did case 3 in the first game even have that problem? Because I definitely remember it in 4 and especially 5.
Not in 3.
No, not in 3. In 3, it was more like you use the jurors against each other to make them think, oh yeah, we need to extend the trial. None of them were hard evidence.
Yeah. Those two statements clearly contradict each other!
Good gracious! To whose statements do you refer, counsel?
Juror number 1? What are you yelling about, lad? I presume you've heard the juror number 4 statement made by the wife of the owner of Ultimate Gas? Well, yes. The victim, who you claim to be a noble, straight-up man, in fact, turns out to be a common thief. So the good lady says, but there's no evidence, is there? You and I both have heard them say as much.
It's true, we don't have evidence as such. Just yet.
Except I think we do.
But the claims aren't baseless, you know.
What?
You heard me. Tina's operation has already been compromised.
What was that line? Compromised.
Compromised.
I was waiting for you to just bust out into like after that.
I would suggest that the court hear the testimony from our East Branch office employee over there.
I'll do what you say, madame. Cat's man's honor. Juror number 1, you say you're a man of your word. Ugh. If I could show Mr. Shakespeare was a liar, you assured me that you would reconsider your decision about the defendant's guilt. Yes, I did say that. As a man of honor, I'll hold to it, as sure as the other gentlemen of the jury will.
Me? Oh, well, I guess. Now that we've found out the man's a liar, perhaps we ought to consider the matter further.
Well, I'm perfectly honest. I haven't heard half of what you all been saying. So that means I'll recap a few points and suit me down to the ground.
Oh, no. I'm not having any part of this. I want this trial over and done with.
In that case, I shall change my leaning.
So, Mr. William Shakespeare, if that is your real name, we the jury demand to know exactly what kind of man you really are. Woo!
Damn, Naruto, that was fast.
Yeah, I like that it's only 1 this time kind of deal. Thank you for that. That's 4 jurors, 4 not guilty.
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Victory!
Order! Order! Well, this is quite extraordinary, I must say. As a result of the defense's summation examination, the jury's leaning has changed. Not only 2 jurors say guilty, while 4 say not guilty. I therefore declare this court to be in a state of disaccord, and order the trial to continue.
Rubber.
Yeah, Brendan, we're going to. Yeah, Brendan. The same way we did in case.
This motherfucker used jurors as evidence again.
You have spoiled my banquet, Mr. Shakespeare. Is this a laughing matter to you, young man? The ladies and gentlemen of the jury now find they are unable to trust you, the victim.
Okay, see, if I can't say that, don't. But you gods will give us so false to make us men. So God mend me, I do swear.
A bard is a playwright.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what he's doing. He's doing a Castlevania. What is a bard? A miserable. Okay, I see it.
This gasman speaketh that which concerns him most. Naught but gas, naught but thin air. Aye, it burneth bright as a while, but it hath no substance, and it does reek foul.
Oi, what did you say?
Do I take it, Mr. Shakespeare, that you deny the allegations of gas thievery? Most here, heartily, my lord, hast thou forgot? I am a seraph, an angel, noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily, honest of heart.
You flowery madam pompous beanhole, I could have just gotten evidence yet. I think my voice changed out there. Mr. Shakespeare! If in fact you are not a mobile mind, sweet nature, or honest of heart, if you are a liar, then your testimony should not sway this courtroom!
It is my considered opinion that at the present time, no other possible culprit of this crime has been identified. All testimony heard by the court thus far heavily implicates the defendant. In short, it would not be unreasonable at this stage for me to rule on the case.
Oh no.
However, in light of the fact that the jury has expressed concern about the fidelity of this witness, I believe it would be inappropriate for this court not to pursue the point further.
I assure you, my lord, that would be a waste of the court's time. The gas and this case are unrelated. Juror number 4!
Yes.
Didn't you say before that although you had no hard evidence to prove this man has been stealing gas, you have strong grounds for suspecting him?
That's right, we do.
Do we, worker?
Yes. Absolutely, Lady Quinley. Gasman's honor.
Very well then. We will hear your testimony now. You will tell the court precisely why you believe the victim, Mr. William Shakespeare, has been stealing. Also, I gotta be right back.
No problem. Ah, yes, my lord, it will be my pleasure.
If I may, my lord.
Go ahead, madam.
That worker's testimony may be significant bearings on the good name of my husband's company. Therefore, I should like to take the stand alongside him as a supervisory role, if you wouldn't mind.
Whoa, yeah, sweet as honey, yeah. Very well. As exception, I shall honor your request.
Thank you, my lord.
You will, boss, here to help. Oh, it's gonna steam, mark my words. We will both testify before the court on the subject of illegal consumption of the utmost gas company fuel.
Yes. Is that clear, my good man?
Clear as Altman gas, my lady, which is the clearest in the world. Do you think the gas has gone to his head, Miss Susato?
I think the man is just a very dedicated employee, Mr. Naruto.
I don't even think he makes minimum wage, Susato. Why is he that? I think he have blackmail on this man.
Oh.
Oh, God. I'm proud of the company's East Branch investigator and meter money collection agent. Oh, yeah, okay. Almond asked me to accept 30 bits each coin, giving customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas.
And yet, the meter in Mr. Shakespeare's room didn't have a single coin in it. The meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with, though, and the collection agent has the only key.
Somehow he's been using all the flammable gas he wants without paying a penny. That's not thieving. What is?
That umbrella's gonna hit someone.
Pray forgive the discourtesy. The irrelevance of this testimony caused me to turn to my hallowed chalice. What do you mean by that remark, Lord
What do you mean by that remark,
Okay,
Lord
I see
Vanzi?
you're back.
I have returned.
I see you're back, my lord. Did the mustached Nipponese poison the gangling accused or the actor, or didn't he? That is all that should be concerned to the court. And yet, now we must listen to this ad boherence. Clearly, what separates the vast British Empire and your Eastern Island nation is more than geographical distance. But this could be turned into crucial testimony. The cross-examination must go ahead. Yeet. Do what you will. that really got you, Elmo.
I love that.
Just a yeet.
Okay. Fuck.
Are you okay?
Man, I really got you.
He just fired someone, not fucking shit.
Hold on. Did you see that yeet?
I give it a 5 out of 10 that time. Wasn't as impressive as the first one he did.
Okay. Lord Vantic appeared to be in a violent mood. Yeah, I'm back now.
Yes, he does. An attempted poisoning and the incident of gas theft with no supporting evidence. It's true that it would appear completely unrelated at first glance, but I wonder, the truth leads to be buried in the most unusual places, and the first steps in uncovering it is to establish just who and what this man really is. And I think I know the exact evidence on this one.
Oh, big brain here, huh?
Oh, because I noticed it right a fucking way. Because if you see that, hey, you see that shit right underneath there?
Ooh la la.
Yeah, I think I know it is right away. I'm gonna try and go for it on this. Yet the meter and didn't have a single coin in. If the meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with, the collection of gas is the only key. Somehow he's been using all the flammable gas he wants without paying. Okay, I'm gonna try and big brain this one real quick and see if I can.
Okay.
I had to step away because someone was making me offer to buy my laptop. I had to go.
Oh, damn.
You didn't big brain enough.
Damn, I brained too close to the sun on that one. Okay, just want to try this one real fast. And then I'll reset.
Objection.
Damn it.
Yeah, I would say you need to like.
Probably.
You're
I
just
think
showing
I need,
a picture.
I need
so,
like
yeah.
I need like one. I need like a statement to actually say it, kind of deal. Okay, so I think starting here is like the stuff I need to actually start. Out of interest, how long has this been going on? Weeks and weeks! He's been pitching off gas of us for ages!
And you've examined the meter in Mr. Shakespeare's room, I take it.
Naturally, we took off the walls and went over it with a fine-tooth comb.
And yet found nothing suspicious at all, I presume.
No, I'm afraid we didn't. Which is exactly why I demand a new type of meter to be produced. An indestructible lock. The Shakespeare special.
That sounds like it would have cost an awful lot more than 3 pennies pieces.
But even with all that said, the rascal meter is still empty.
I'll never forget the humiliation. I opened up the money box and found it bare. You what, I said? You what? And then look at my face, this shammy smile of his. I pulled the meter straight out of the wall and took it back to the office. But you know what? Nothing! Not a trace of me team penny anywhere! Not a single sign! And what happened to my salary as a result? Down by 3 shillings a day! That's what? A life-threatening situation in a number of ways. Incidentally, what became of that meter? Nothing became of it! I still got it! Oh? Right here! No wonder they call you Mr. Meterman.
I think it would be prudent for the court to
Sequester? Yeah.
To sequester this item while the trial is ongoing.
Investigate that shit, definitely. Although at first
Just cheat an entire meter man to the defense.
Let's move this along, shall we? Continue with your testimony. Though I would say it's much value of contents of that meter. Oof. Alright, check that shit out! That's a very sturdy padlock, isn't it?
And the money box is sealed with beeswax, too.
So if Mr. Sholmes were to get into any mischief, he would have been found out immediately.
Mr. Naruhodo, mission of that kind is not the sort of thing that Mr. Sholmes would...
You know you didn't finish that sentence, don't you?
Well, anyway. It's understandable that the gas company want to safeguard the money that's rightfully theirs.
But it does feel a little over the top, perhaps, doesn't it?
3D!
Yeah, but I'm just checking if anything else is on there. Oh, hello. Oh, what's it?
Have you spotted something, Mr. Naruhodo?
Just here, there's a little hole. Do you see it?
Goodness, you're right. I would have noticed.
It's not a very neat hole, is it? Not professionally made, I'd say.
So, you think it might have been opened up by Mr. Shamspear?
Possibly. It does seem like people at the Atmos gas must have missed it. I don't know how.
Well, it certainly seemed to go all the way through the inside.
Yes, but there's no way a coin could fit through there.
That's true, but even so, it seems more than a little suspicious.
How did they miss that? Like...
No coin can
How
get
do
in
you
that
fucking
hole,
miss
right?
that?
It's a small hole. Yeah. It's nothing of value. Nothing can get in there.
Patrick, I was also the same way. But the more I get into it, the more I just go, okay, you know what? I think I understand how you missed that.
But like, if you're examining for how it's been tampered with and stuff like that... Lady Alphama, I'm afraid to say that the meter clearly does show signs of being tampered with. If you looked at it for more than 5 seconds, you would have found it.
You see, she didn't know how the examination process works.
She could have turned
She
it
didn't
on.
know she could flip it over. What?
No, I'm not going to go by its simple Ace Attorney and stuff like that. I'm just saying, wait for the Dogger Up on 1 review, because I'm going to go up on stuff like that. Get away! I've been over and over on that thing! I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with it!
Oh, so the meter man did it. Hold on.
In that case, what do you have to say about this little small hole that's been made at the bottom of the coin box?
This
Oh,
man's pouring
what?
her wage.
You're right. You're quite right. There's a little hole there. The meters aren't supposed to have that. None of the others do.
In other words, we can assume that Mr. Shamespeare secretly opened up this hole himself.
Yes, I wouldn't be at all surprised. But why?
Yeah, why? I mean, it's tiny. You couldn't get a fathering through that. Lady Altamont, I wonder if you could give the court some details about your meter design.
What sort of details?
Well, I'd specifically like to know how it prevents the coins, how it's dismantled. Because my theory right now is, based on that he's been getting the gas, like, out of it kind of deal. But actually, I think that differentiates the coins, I want to say. He's probably trying to get the money out of it or something. How does the meter tell the difference between the different coins?
What do you mean?
Well, for example, if someone were to put a 1 penny coin in, that wouldn't work, presumably, would it?
No, of course not.
So, well, how does the meter coin know that the coin has been fed through a fubery a bit?
Ah, I see what you're getting at now. The meter tells coins apart by their shapes and size, which includes their thickness. A front bit is about 3/4 of an inch in diameter, you see. Other coins just won't fit.
Ah, I see. That's clearly been very well thought out.
The witness will amend her formal testimony with that information in case it is it.
As you wish, my lord.
So what would you do with this information?
The meter is designed with coins are the exact mirror thickness. Nothing else will fit. I don't think anything we have. I think I need to press that again. I think I need the other one. Nothing else will fit.
Make sure everything.
Yeah. Nothing else will fit. Okay, so yeah, that's the coin box, so yeah, it would be out of that. Oh, no, yeah, he's just deliberately, like, getting the coin back out kind of deal.
But the hole at the bottom is too small to get the coin back out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my thing is, like, he would try to be getting the gas out kind of deal. Well, hold on, the thing is all oil. I think I need to just press that one again.
Hold it!
But conversely then, it would seem that anything matching the 3-piece coin could exactly in terms of diameter and thickness could equally be used. Would that be true?
Well, yes, in a way. The weight comes of it to a certain extent as well.
We've thought of that already. If I could find any fake coins inside the coin box when in the empty meter, the contract says the customer would pay 100 times the amount that they driddled and it's fine. We live in a moment like this, us gasmen do. Live for them!
It would seem the gas company has thought of everything.
Woo! Renegades, renegades, almost out of the way!
Quite enough with you with that.
Remind me, how big are through infants?
About 3/4 of an inch across. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Is this two-center measurement significant? Or perhaps there's some other aspects in the mirror construction that we should focus on? Essentially, do you want to change statements or not?
Yeah, let me just see what that one is. That. How can the meter be disassembled?
Dismantled?
Yes, given that there are no signs of it have been forced. I'm wondering if perhaps rather than being broken open, it might have been taken apart.
Well, yes, that does make some sense. The padlock was made by first-class locksmiths from the finest quality steel. And the meter box itself is made from the plain steel as well. We just shut to ensure it cannot be opened again. I can assure you, it's quite impossible to dismantle it.
Woo! Yeah! Nothing leaks from the ultimate meter. No coins, no gas, no nothing! I see.
The witches will amend her former testimonies for the
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay. Although the joints of the mirror will hold it shut, there's no way to dismantle it.
Hold it!
Has anyone ever tried? Oh yeah, they've tried, but they've all been given up long.
After all, if they actually broke the meter, the company would be able to take legal action.
Yes, that makes sense. Yeah,
Alright, yeah.
I think the coin one seems to make more sense.
Would you like me to point you in the right direction?
Yes, please.
Alright, so you're right on track with the coin. Soap.
Oh.
Look at the soap again.
Oh? Look at this bar of soap. A circular depression on this side, about 2 centimeters across.
Or 3/4 of an inch. Ah! Do you think?
I think this soap at the scene, didn't we?
Yes. There were 2 bars on the little edge just outside the window. So we took this one. And I'm sure when we first found it, there was some sort of reddish medallion in the middle there. I remember it clearly.
Yes, but there's no sign of it now. Where could this have gone? Okay. Didn't think about that one, honestly, on that. Glad about that.
That's how Shansphere gets you.
I thought it was just, yeah. Alright. Boom!
Soap!
That's soap! Let me confirm one thing here. If the diameter and thickness were to be correct, the meter would accept any object that's of a threepenny amount. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
When I first got to this contradiction right here, or like we figured this out, to go, oh, okay, that's actually pretty smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, by something of a coincidence, while we were investigating Mr. Shakespeare's room, we found a particular item that matches the dimensions perfectly.
Something the same side of her pumped bit? What is it?
The item in question is this! What? Have you been inhaling gas at the bar soap?
It certainly looks nothing like a perfumed bit, I must say.
It looks like I'm gonna have to point out exactly what I mean.
If you turn this soap around...
It's a concept you guys seem to very much lack in seeing objects in third person. You have to turn the corner of the soap to see what I mean.
Are you referring to that round depression in the middle of the soap there?
That's right, a depression that's approximately 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Or in other words, almost the exact same size as the third penny bit. Get away!
Does anyone here present have in their possession a thirpenny? Quickly now, hand over your coins, ladies and gentlemen.
It sounds rather like a highway robbery, doesn't it?
Thanks to a kind member of the public in the gallery, I have stolen one of their penny. You're never getting this back. Now, to see if it fits.
It's like borrowing a pencil in college.
My word! It couldn't be more snug!
Yes, as I suspected. This, without a doubt, is a vital clue to explain how the Altman Gas Company has been being defrauded.
Well, I don't believe it.
Bird.
So your assertion amounts to what? That some inferior bar soap is a tentative collection of a theft of gas? Yes! Then depressions of soap was clearly made by a third penny bit.
I must concur, at least, that pushing a coin with some force into poor quality bars and soap such as this is remarkably simple when I replicated the coin's shape.
Then you could use, well, some melted wax or something to pour over the mold. You could make fake coins in no time! This brings all the pieces of the puzzle together. It's the method Mr. Shakespeare has been using to steal the gas. That's the missing link. And now, follow the chain of thought. It's going to bring me to a new explanation for what happened that nobody's considered yet.
Yeah, so this is why I actually can't be too hard on them for missing that hole. Because it's a method that nobody has tried yet, so they didn't know it works.
No, I don't know. I would still be super suspicious of that hole, though.
Yeah, I would be super suspicious why the hole is there, but there's no way at the current moment of time I would figure out that, oh, that's how he's doing it. It's like we gotta fix that.
Yeah.
What? This is all nonsense! If that man has been making fake coins, my walkers here would have found them when he emptied the meter!
Wait, hang on. I said wait, court! I am drinking! Quite true, lady, Altamont. In the absence of some black magic that could make them disappear.
I see. That's what you're dealing with, is it? There's not one form of black magic that could have caused the fake coin to disappear in there, yes. Exactly. And that meter here gives it away.
What on earth?
There are remnants of this magical method used visible on the gas meter here taken from the victim's room.
If that is your assertion, Counsel, the defense will identify these remnants for the court at once.
Ace. Like, still, if you see something blatantly tampered with, investigate the shit out of it kind of deal on that. That's not my 20th century brain thinking there, that's just a blatant, if your product has something that shouldn't be there kind of deal, you would be super suspicious of it, especially if you suspect that kind of fraud. It's just basic logic, guys. The remnants of the method use, okay, well, are they talking more of that or down here? Or...
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it!
We found this bar of soap at the scene of the crime, just outside the victim's window. Outside? Yes, outside, where we found yourself, Mr. Meterman. We're loitering in freezing winter air. That's where we found this soap.
Oh yeah, that's how that thing connects to that. Oh, you can't.
Oh, you
Ah,
got
get it!
That was the memory things.
That's
'Cause
right.
It was me going, alright, this is not really good, but how does it connect to the overall case again?
That's
Oh
right.
yeah.
The answer, of course, is ice. As I always say in like any murder game or anything, I'm really surprised ice is not used much more as a actual killing weapon because the you know, the murder weapon dissolves itself kind of deal. So I always say use ice as a murder weapon if you.
But what if it hits? What if the blood would just convert into the liquid when it melted?
Well, no, it would just wash the blood away at that point, like, kind of deal. Or you could just throw that shit outside, or just let it melt.
Big brain.
Yeah.
Big brain.
Did you say ice?
Mr. Shakespeare has been leaving soaps like this outside his window each evening, filled with water. After a night outside the bitter cold, the water's completely frozen solid the next day. Then he takes his fake coins of ice and feeds them to the gas meter, giving him light and warmth in spades. As his room is very comfortably warm, the ice now inside the meter box melts, turning the back in the water and draining harmlessly through the small hole he made on the underside of the meter. That is how, without leaving an evidence of his wrongdoing, this man has been stealing Outmost gas!
Just like that. So simply. Is he trying to make us look like idiots? He's been fooling us with some bar soap and some water.
And listen, sometimes the hardest of hacks require the simple.
I'm not getting on them for realizing of, like, the coin trick, guys, or anything like that. It's just more of, I would suspect that he's doing some shady shit if there was a clear hole punctured through kind of deal the coin slot, you know? I'm not saying they figured out the method on how he did it, but should have led them into, something's wrong with this guy, you know?
I mean, that's why they've been sitting Mr. Popeye the Sailor Man over here.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're trying to figure out. It's like, all right, I see you in there. I know you're stealing. I just don't know how yet.
Popeye's like, that's a small hole. Anyway.
That's right, madame.
I don't believe it. It can't be true.
No, Roxas, he's doing the ice bucket challenge correctly.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how much money we spent on developing that new meter? Now you have the audacity to suggest that bit of soap and water can render it as totally useless.
I'm fairly sure I didn't design it.
Evidence.
Sorry?
I want evidence. If you're going to stand there and tell that our meters are rubbish, I want to see proof. She's very good at enforcing accountability, isn't she?
My big brain moment coming in, cause I noticed this shit right away. Very well, Autobot. If you like the evidence, I'll provide it.
What? Mr. Naruhodo, are you sane? You actually have the evidence to support this theory?
Susanoo, I've been sitting on this evidence all time. I've been waiting for this shit.
Yeah, that's my pose was accurate then.
I did know that those trails, and I have a feeling that this theory is gonna come up now could explain it.
Yeah, Patrick, you pulled. Yeah, no, Patrick, you had a murder mystery moment where you figured it out. You were just too early.
Because I noticed that water. I noticed the like liquid underneath it immediately. So I was like, as soon as the gas meter came out, I was like, yep, that's it.
Yeah, you just had to get there first.
Yeah. This is a photograph of the scene at the point where the victim was discovered, taken by Inspector Gregson, and it clearly shows the remnants of the crime carried out by Shakespeare. What remnants? Here you can see the gas meter in the wall by Mr. Shakespeare's room. Now, look closely at the floorboards directly underneath the mirror.
What is that? Some type of grubby stain?
Almost certainly like a water stain resulting from the liquid that drained out of the hole from the man-made mirror. If one coin gives about 2 hours of gas usage and the occupant was heating his room in his waking hours, we can imagine he would have used about 10 of his fake coins each day. The melting ice inside the meter's coin box would have been dripping out almost constantly, leaving a single stain on the floor.
This is awful.
And there's further evidence, too. Mr. Shakespeare slumped over at his table, apparently consumed citronine. And right next to him is a bar of soap, broken in half.
You're right.
It would appear to me then, counsel, that the man was eating the soap, was he?
Pardon me for disagreeing with your lordship, but... certainly not. Why'd you pull out your... Never mind.
He didn't beat around the bush there, did he?
In truth, Mr. Shakespeare was found with a fork in his hand.
A meal of soap.
Did you mean to say he was using that fork to... Yes. To extract a frozen coin from the bar of soap.
But the bar broken in half. So perhaps it didn't go very well.
Good gracious!
Yeet!
Oh, no.
I killed another one. Lord Van Zinks? I was throwing my hand up in despair. Shut up, you stupid little bear. I hate your fucking guts. And happened to catch on my hollow ball on the way. Pray for my malorant mistake.
What is the meaning of this council?
Allow me to pose my lean friend a question. What exactly did you establish in your most recent cross-examination? Well...
That Mr. William Shakespeare is a liar and a thief. In other words, that his testimony is unreliable.
That's it! That's exactly it! Very well. Let us assume this man's a liar. Now allow me to pose another question. What possible difference does that make? Well... we know suicide can be discounted. Scotland Yard's investigation revealed no sign of another vessel that contained poison. And on the night of question, there was no other visitors in the room besides the accused. The young gasman's testimony, which has no reason for doubt, has confirmed that. Furthermore, the only possible poison could have entered the victim's body via tea. The court has seen no evidence whatever to suggest otherwise. Even if William Shakespeare is a liar you claim him to be, these facts have been objectively established. There's no escaping it. Therefore, in light of these facts, the prosecution calls for immediate adjudication. What?
And now you got one more job. You gotta figure out how to connect these two things together. Order! Well, counsel, how does the defense respond?
Mr. Naruhodo, please.
Ugh.
Zoinks.
That's not how
Like
we're supposed to
Zoinks,
credit it.
Susanoo, I don't know what to do! What's the point of this last examination? What did we actually get anywhere? Would it make no difference at all, like Lord Van Zeeks is saying? Raise an objection.
You always raise the objection.
No, this isn't over! The defense will not rest!
Actually, question. Remind me, has there been any point in instance in history where when you're given that prompt, you don't do it, and you actually that's the case?
I feel it's only when it gives you another option.
Yeah, I think only when it's just like a press for more information or raise an objection kind of deal. I think might have been the only time where it wasn't. Yeah, I think something like that. I don't remember what game though.
Yeah.
But counsel, you successfully explained everything. You've identified and sustained the unscrupulous method employed by Mr. Shakespeare to consume gas. What more is there to discuss?
Lord Van Zeeks just highlighted 3 facts in order for us to make his point. But contrary to what the court believed, not all of them have been objectively established at all. What are you trying to say, my Nipponese friend? At least one of those so-called facts is an assumption made to do of lack of evidence.
Whoa.
But the situation has changed now, following the cross-examination of the latest witness to take the stand. Don't be absurd. What is this nonsense? Yes, if you bring everything together that we've learned so far and consider it as a whole, it's clear. There's one question that we need to reconsider, namely, was someone else responsible? Was there another visitor? Was the poison...
Alright, Patrick, there's something I want you to think about.
Yeah?
We already know, you already know
There's
that...
not another visitor, for sure.
Like, you already know how he has been stealing gas, right?
Yeah, so...
Remember, there's a statement that Saseki said earlier that he only said it once, but it's actually very important right now.
Well...
What was the reason that Saseki bought his own water?
Because they charged for it in there? Was it?
No, Saseki said that getting water that night, the pipes were frozen.
Oh,
So he bought his own water.
okay, someone else responsible. Someone else was... Gonna go with that? What is someone else entirely who poisoned the victim? If that's your assertion, by all means, tell us who it was. Yes, well...
Well, who was this mysterious third-party counsel?
I think it's a little too soon to be naming names, my lord. On the contrary, it's a little too late, much like your defense.
Let me put it another way. What else can the tea be used for?
For melting.
Bro, how are the coins being made?
From freezing the butter. We've all been led to believe that cyanide poison was afflicted in Mr. Shakespeare. Was actually tea brought to him by Mr. Natsume, but that's conjecture at best.
Objection!
The victim has testified that nothing else passed his lips that night. There's no other possibility. And since there are no traces of tea left at the scene. It couldn't be tested for traces of poison. And as I said, the situation has changed. Okay, I see how he did it. Because in fact, some of Mr. Natsumi's tea was left at the scene! And a particular piece of evidence proves it. A luxurious claim Scotland Yard. Our detectives investigated the scene exhaustively. What evidence are you suggesting, Miss Lee?
The defense has made a bold claim indeed. Very well, counsel. Present your proof. What evidence from the scene of the crime can tell us about the nature of the defensive tea?
Take that!
Oh, damn it!
Exactly.
Those are teacups, Mr. Naruhodo.
Fuck! Save.
What did they overlook?
I was thinking the tea for like the leftover thing in there.
Where would you find it then?
Like on the rim, like kind of deal.
That's just saying that the tea has been there for a long time. It doesn't show where exactly the missing tea is.
All right. So Pat, what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
I'm trying to think through. I think the other thing would be of like that the. This one?
If Mr. Shampier was using Taseki's tea, where would it be?
Oh, he just, I think just poured it on the floor. Kind of deal.
Take that!
Damn it! Oh, that it just evaporated, maybe? No,
Take that!
Nope. Damn it! Okay, actually, real quick, I'll be right back. There is a fly just like keeps being around my monitor. I am gonna go take care of that real fast. I will be right back.
I am trying to figure out evidence, but this fly keeps coming in.
Yeah, so, let's see, where is the stream of ads? Yeah, okay, so, I'll just put that out there, I'll be right back. I'll keep the conversation going in Discord though, so, yeah.
Buggers.
So how you doing, Sophie? How you doing, chat? Is anyone else in chat who's not Ace figured it out?
Okay, I think I remember what evidence to use there now.
I also think I remember the evidence he has to use.
They better, if they patch Sonic Colors Ultimate, they better patch it really good. But I mean, it's kinda, yeah.
Especially with everything that people have been fighting, they had to work on the patch. Again, I don't blame the team that actually ported it because of the amount of time they were given. I 100% blame Sega's mandate.
Mhm.
Now, Ace, while that is true, Mania Slots was still way better than this.
No, Sega really thought, a simple port to the Switch. Here, do it in a month.
It's just a port. Come on, how hard can it be?
Okay. Okay, I think I remember what to do here now. So.
It stays on number.
Alright, I think I remember where did he put the T in?
Put it in the soap itself?
Take that!
Your mic's muted.
No, I just unmuted it. Oh, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so reload that. Okay, now I see what it is. All right.
I think I went for the picture first too.
Take that!
Oh, is Jason there?
Good gracious!
Okay.
The soap, the butter again? The same bar that the Phantom used?
Yes, that's right, my lord. It's come back to me. Something about when we first found the bar of soap at the scene yesterday.
It's 2!
2! I'm quite certain that when we originally stumbled upon the bars of soap, there was actually a frozen coin in each bar. So you discovered the gas thief's coin factory. Fascinating. In a way, yes, but there's more. The coins were found in the soap at the time weren't normal ice.
There was something strange about them, you mean?
Exactly, something very obviously strange. They were red. The ice was red? No! You mean... That's right. It's obvious to me now. The fake coins in the soap were made from the frozen tea!
Oh yeah,
What?
Brandon, there's always one moment, at least one moment in every Ace Attorney game where I do end up tripping up on something.
Exactly, I mean, it's part of the series kind of deal. I will remind the court of the statement made by Mr. Natsume earlier in the trial.
There it is.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. I believe there had been a snowfall that day. It was particularly cold. Sadly, on such occasions, the poorly constructed water mains in the East End are prone to freezing.
So on the night in question, Mr. Shamespeare, having no running water to use, was forced to use the tea brought by Mr. Natsume in order to make his fake coins!
My word!
I'm gonna beat the shit out of him. I'm gonna do it.
There were 2 bars full of soap in the window ledge when my judicial assistant and I investigated the scene.
Yeah, that's right. We only borrowed one of them.
which means that even as we speak, some of the defendant's tea is still present at the crime scene. Frozen solid in bars of soap outside Mr. Shakespeare's window!
Extraordinary!
Earlier today, Inspector Gregson informed the court that even if one drop of tea remained, Scotland Yard would be able to analyze it for poison. As such, we are now in possession to prove or disprove what until now was mere conjecture. By finding out for sure whether or not Mr. Natsume's tea actually contains strychnine or
poison in it.
Ugh, you smug nipple knees! My lord, we cannot do the defendant the injustice of passing judgment now. The police should be dispatched to recover the remaining bar of soap at the scene at once, and the defense requests a thorough analysis of the frozen tea embedded in it, to determine whether or not it contains any poison.
Secure the soap! The soap!
Yo, get the butter! Get the butter! Bailiff! Bailiff! Instruct the police to attend the scene at once!
Yes, my lord, understood!
No more drop it! It would seem we have no choice but to suspend these proceedings for the time being. I trust you have no objection, Lord Van Zeeks.
None, my lord.
Scotland Yard will recover the tea from the scene and carry out the requisite test immediately. The trial will resume at the same hour tomorrow. The prosecution and defense may conduct further investigations as appropriate in the interim.
Yes, my lord. Well, he managed to scrape through there somehow.
And also, you get something you didn't get in the first game.
Yeah, so we're actually getting a proper 2-day trial at this point.
Yeah. Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned until tomorrow.
Yeah, that's kind of why I kind of see GGS 1 and 2 interconnected, just because it certainly feels like reaching much farther into it.
Yeah. Alrighty. I can say I'm definitely liking this case overall a lot more than case 2 of the original game, that's for sure, so...
I do like how it did lead to finding like, oh snap, there is actually tea.
Yeah, so we will reconvene next week to continue on for this and probably finish it up next week. But
we will.
So Brandon earlier in the chat asked how many sessions this case.
Yeah, I remember you guys saying like 4, probably. So.
Yeah. I didn't want to answer at the time. I think the answer would have spoiled how long this case actually is. So I could say. Probably 3, including this 3 sessions.
Yeah. So, and tomorrow's excuse me. Tomorrow is going to be sub night and probably going to be Among Us unless we have a last minute change. But yeah. So anyway.
Oh wait, vanilla Among Us or modern Among Us?
Regular Among Us for that.
Okay.
So yeah, that's gonna be it for us. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye.